Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. So I decided to film an updated brow routine because it has been a while since my last one, and there have been a few changes to my brow routine since, you know, the last video is probably like a few years ago. So if you guys want to see how I do my brows and achieve these brows right here, then stay tuned. And we starting off with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow, I'm going to be using an angle brush, and this is the angle brush I've probably been using for the past 10 years. It is busted, and I got this from CVS, but it is my favorite brow brush. So I'm just going to go ahead and dip it in the pomade, and then I'm going to start by drawing a line, not starting at the front of my brow, but starting a little bit over, and I'm going to draw a line like underneath, just getting the shape that I want for my brow. And then once I kind of have like that shape going, then I'll kind of bring it in a little bit. When there's like not too much product left, I'll bring it in towards the front of the brow. Then I'll go ahead and dip in for more product, and then I'll go ahead and, again, starting a little bit over on the top of the brow, I will go ahead and line my brow, trying to create a little arch, but dipping back in the product as needed. And then I'll just kind of connect those two lines together and make sure I'm getting the shape that I want for my brows. So I'm also not the girl that likes to kind of like carve the top of her brows, because as you can see, like, my full face is on. I used to do brows first, but now I do brows like after complexion. So I like to just kind of carve and like clean up the bottom of the brow and like leave the top as is, because I feel like it looks a little bit more natural. So again, I'm following those same steps I said, starting a little bit like over from the front of the brow and taking my brush and just outlining the shape that I want for the bottom of my brow, and then using what's left on the brush to kind of come in towards the front of the brow, then dipping back in again, and then again starting a little bit over, drawing the shape that I want for the top of the brow, but also getting like a little arch in there, and then connecting the two lines at the bottom. Now, your brows are not going to be perfect. Like, they are sisters, not twins. I'm sure you guys have all heard that. Sometimes they are cousins and not even sisters. But today we're going for sisters. They don't have to be twins, but we're going for sisters. So now that I kind of outlined the shape that I'm looking for, I'll dip back in with the brush into the product, and I'll just lightly fill in. And I kind of start a little bit towards, like, I mean, I wouldn't say this is the middle of the brow, but a little bit more over, like kind of over the pupil area, and then I'll start filling in from there to the end of the brow, because I just don't want it to be too dark in the front. So once I kind of have that area filled in, then that's when I'll progressively go closer to the front of the brow. And then once I get to the absolute front of the brow, I take my angle brush and kind of lay it like more flat. And then I'll brush up to give like a little less concentration of product. And I feel like that kind of gives like a little bit of the fading effect at the front of the brow. Then I just go ahead and repeat those same exact steps on the other brow and hope that they match, kinda, you know, just a little bit. So then again, at the front, I'm just going upwards with the product and just trying to get not too much product dispensed, but give it that like ombre effect. This is how the brows are looking, and I feel like they're looking pretty solid. Like, I don't think I would just walk out the house with my brows looking like this, but we're gonna go ahead and clean them up with some concealer. So I have been using this concealer a long time, at least like probably since 2017, so like at least 7 years, and that is the Nars like soft matte concealer, and this one is in caramel or caramel. So I like to take a flat brush, and this is the Morphe M432 brush, and I just like to kind of go in and coat both sides of my brush with product, and then I'll just look in my mirror here and then start at the beginning of the brow and make sure I get the shape that I'm looking for. So I'll just start by adding some concealer to the bottom here, just trying to like clean it up and really get a nice crisp shape. And then once it gets towards the tail, I really like to make my tail a little bit skinnier. This is how the brow is looking. The concealer is not blended yet, so I actually don't like to blend out the concealer until I do my other brow. I'm just gonna go ahead and do my other brow, because why I like to kind of wait is because I want to see, once I put this concealer down, like, are my brows like even? Like, are they in the same line? Because sometimes they are not. Like, sometimes one brow will be like this and sometimes the brow will be like this. So then I'll be using the concealer to like hopefully like even out the front of the brow. So that's why I kind of wait a little bit before I go ahead and blend it out. We have our concealer on under both of our brows, and I feel like they are in line with each other, which is what we are looking for. So because they are lined up and they are looking like, they're looking like sisters a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and take my flat brush and I'm just gonna blend downward that concealer into the eyelid until I can't see any lines of demarcation. And then I'll go ahead and do that on the other side as well. Now you can stop here if you want. Me personally, I feel like I could do a little bit more. So what I do is I'll take my flat brush with the product that's left on it. So instead of using my brush like this way, I'm going to use it up and down. So it's gonna be straight up vertical. And I'm just gonna kind of take it in the front of my brow and then draw these like little lines with what's left over in the concealer. And I feel like this just makes the front of the brow look a little bit more natural instead of like kind of blocky. So I just go ahead and do that for both brows. And then once I've done it, I'll go ahead and take still what's remaining on the brush and kind of like just clean it up by going like side by side and just making sure it's kind of like a little line under there with the concealer. To finish off my brows, I typically go in like just with your regular brow gel, but this brow gel has been my absolute favorite since it has came out. I ordered the travel size, not expecting much, but it is so good. This is the ABH Brow Freeze Gel, and this stuff is so good. It just keeps your brows in place, like in place. Your brows are exactly where you want them to be. So what I like to go ahead and do is, this wand is like really coated with product on the front, on the back, on the top bristles and the bottom bristles. So what I'll go ahead and do is apply that product that's on the front of the applicator. I'll apply that directly on my brow, and then using the little tiny combs on the top, I will just go ahead and comb it through and comb my hairs in the direction that I want them to lay in. And when I tell you, this stuff has your brows looking so good. And for me, this also helps to kind of define my hair, since I do have like the dip brow in there or whatever, and I feel like that can make your brows look very blocky. So having like this brow gel, it really helps to kind of define the hair and have them look less fake. Like, they still look fake, don't get me wrong, like, you know, these are not my brows, but this just gives it a little bit more like dimension. Here is the finished look of the brows and the full makeup. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching my updated brow routine. Hopefully you guys learned a couple things, and there have been some slight updates since my last tutorial. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and obviously make sure you are subscribed to my channel. I post on YouTube Shorts pretty much every single day, and I'll be posting on here once a week. So if you like this video, again, like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment below.